Everyone started turkey slapping him on the face and neck.
Oh.
So from that day on, he was called Cockneck. Hello there, welcome to the podcast. This is Not For Radio. We host Duncan Hyde, Jay Reeve, plenty on the podcast today.
Coming in hot.
We are actually. We're super excited. We've got the jerseys behind us. The Mighty One Warriors are playing in Vegas this weekend, along with all of the other Australian league sides for the NRL launch, which is pretty sick.
A couple of female teams and then a couple of the UK teams as well.
An update on our collaboration first sunglasses we've done, and we designed them, and they've been released with the Kiwi brand, who are epic, high-end sunglasses. We're going for $199 for you, where you can get those, or if you want them now before they sell out, jump into the show notes. You're going to hear from somebody that I lied to on holiday once. Send us a voice memo.
The scary way that scientists come about naming different insects, and namely the largest, most venomous spider in the world.
We've also got a Not For Radio Nicknames edition, or Nickname Not For Radio edition, which is very, very funny. Some bloody good ones in there too. We're going to play a snippet of one of the greatest yarns ever fucking told on this podcast. But I thought it was me telling it. Jay thought it was him telling it. Turns out it was fucking Teagues telling it.
Teagues thought both of us were telling it and found out that it was her.
And what you need to do with a dead person on a long haul flight.
Not to mention what not to do when waterproofing your boots to start things off.
Some prizes from the Sniper Elite: Lucas Blazy, Tom Watson, and Rebecca Zentveld. You guys have won some merch from us, or some prizes. We'll sort it out. There'll be a special note from Jay this week. You can put in the peel room.
I did. I've already written them.
Yeah, I saw you doing it yesterday.
Yeah.
Enjoy the podcast.
Jay and Dunc, Duncan and Jay, not for fucking radio, up the wires.
Little war story, shall we, to start things off?
Let's.
Tom and Midlands in the UK. Hey, I'm a professional craftsman. I use dangerous tools every day and have real respect for them. Some say I should have known better than to make the mistake that I'm about to tell you about. I had an old set of boots that I absolutely loved, and that got me through many a puddle for a good few years. The old codgers had just started to see their day through and were letting water in through the leather. I decided I'd give my good friends a little bit of a spruce up. I ordered 2 full cans of waterproofing spray, and I sat down in my living room, well, this is my first mistake, and began to empty the first can onto the old timers. Things looked like they were going quite well. Not wanting to be half-assed, I grabbed the second can and started to apply it, and at this point I was sitting in what I can only describe as a cloud of thick, heavy, gaseous goodness. The air in the room was full of the stuff, and I could barely see the boots in front of me through the mist. It was at this point that I was reminded that I was sitting right next to a roaring open fire.
Oh, no. No.
I say reminded. The giant fireball that leapt out of the grate and into my lap was all I needed to put 2 and 2 together. Surrounded in flame, I did what I thought made sense in the split second and jumped up away from the fireball. This turned out to be the wrong choice, however, as my now flaming body ignited the air at the top of the room. Fucking human candle.
Oh, my gosh.
Holy fuck. That would be terrifying.
It's your classic.
Woof. With my eyes clamped shut, I could hear flames literally raining down around me, and it was only when this noise subsided that I decided to have a peek at the situation. When I opened my eyes, my arms and whole body were still on fire.
That is the best.
Turns out patting and rubbing the skin where the t-shirt was wasn't. I managed to separate the entire top layer of skin from my forearm as I pushed it around. Lo and behold, the exact same thing happened to my face.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
This is like rubbing like some Glad wrap, like some cling wrap with water underneath it on the bench.
I put the house out and got in the cold shower.
Put the house out.
Yeah. And got into the cold shower before getting promptly to a hospital. The cold shower saved me from any long-term scarring, but 3 weeks of my face leaking pus was no game, I can tell you. All I'm left with now is a bit of wounded pride. I know aerosols are flammable, and I know that fire is hot. I just didn't put two and two together at the time. From now on, I'll probably waterproof my boots outside. Go well up the wires.
No talk of buying new boots, eh? Nah, bro. These have got some legs left in them.
Man. The fucking big dog.
How much, he's done a whole can of waterproofing spray on one shoe, he said?
That could be waterproof. I wonder what happened to the boots. They probably just melted.
They'd look like gum boots after that much has gone on them.
Shit.
Oh, yeah, great. Good start.
The only podcast that has stories like these, not for radio.
Just going to read for you part of my, I wouldn't say it's my favourite news story this week. It's just probably the most interesting. I was like, that can happen, I guess. So, this happened on Qatar Airways, and they apologise after cabin crew sat a recently deceased passenger next to an Australian couple while on a long-haul flight to Doha.
Yeah. So this happens. My father-in-law was a 777 captain for the best part of 35 years. And so he's had everything happen on a plane, like everything, like gone through hailstorms, smashed all the windows, literally instrument landed the thing afterwards.
What?
Yeah, they've had fucking everything you can imagine. Had a couple of people die whilst flying, and then this sort of thing happens. Normally,
Flying the plane?
not flying the plane,
okay.
but passengers die on board.
Yeah.
And what normally happens is that they'll basically put them into one of the toilets, and they lock the toilet, and that's where they stash them.
So,
Toilets were full.
yeah, maybe someone stacked them after a sweet hot butter chicken.
Yeah.
Wee vindaloo. Nah, so there was a row of seats there, and they said, it's all right if we put them there, and I think they put a sheet over them or
Yeah,
whatever.
they put a sheet over them so you can't see them.
But then that was the last they heard of it. They didn't say, hey, you're right, that might have been a little bit distressing or whatever. And then I was reading up more about it. There was one type of plane that was released for a while. Forget the company that was building it, but they actually had what was called a corpse cupboard.
Yeah.
And so that's specifically for dead bodies. When people die on the plane, they put them in the corpse cupboard, and they'll just get them out of the way and then put them in there and deal with them later. Except they never got used. They were in production for 7 years, and not a single one got used.
Yeah.
So they're like, wasted space. Let's not do that.
I said that to the father-in-law, and I said to them, why don't they just put it like a chiller, and then they can just have extra cans of piss in there or something, just keep everything cold.
And around the legs.
Yeah, no, and then when somebody does blow out,
yes.
then they just empty it out and then leave that on the bench or whatever, or put it in
corpse spears for free corpse spears for the cabin.
That's when you go prop him up there with his hand frozen there, and you go past and you fucking cheers him. And everyone has the last drink with the dead guy.
So there was a study done by the New England Journal of Medicine, looked at 11,920 in-flight medical emergencies from the 1st of January 2008 to October 31st, 2010. And on 5 US domestic and international airlines across 5 airlines, domestic and international, it found that 0.3% of those 11,920 resulted in death. So it's very rare.
Very rare.
There was the other one this week in New Zealand where the chick gave birth on a plane.
Which was crazy because the flight time was... I've flown that Auckland to New Plymouth route a bunch of times. I used to fly it coming back from boarding school.
It's just up and down.
Yeah, it's it's like 35, 40 minutes. So that's a quick turnaround. You must have been half out jumping on the plane. Or just a really quick delivery. My sister...
Baby was giving people high fives on the way onto the plane.
Yeah. Scanned its ticket on. My sister had Wolfie, her son. He was a whopper, the length of my body. I'm sure he was close to 10 pounds,
Yeah, I think I remember that.
Big boy. And she backed him out in less than 45 minutes at home.
Wow.
Just spat him out and just boxed on.
I don't think it's quite like that, but yeah.
Well, no, I definitely don't think it was quite like that. It was in a pool in the room that we stay in, and then it basically turned into human soup, and the old boy just siphoned it out into the neighbour's driveway.
That's right, I remember. Yeah.
Why are these fucking seagulls on my driveway? Oh, I don't know.
That's the admin they don't tell you about for the birthing pool at home, man. You've got to fucking empty that thing somewhere, and you're not emptying it to any drain in the house apart from
you chuck it in the garden.
Shower,
Bit of human soup, mate.
Yeah.
The
For the veggie garden, you probably get a fucking monster load next time the veggies are ready to harvest.
my sister was.
So you literally put blood and bone
Yeah.
on veggie gardens, but it's just animal blood and bone.
My sister was wearing the tiny blue shorts, the tight white singlet, little fake moustache on, some aviator shoes, the pool boy in that situation, just scooping things out as they popped out.
Here's a question for you, and there is a reason why I brought all this up. Out of 604 flights,
Yes.
how many times do you think there would be a medical emergency?
1 in 100.
One every 604.
Oh, 1 every
Yeah,
604.
so you'd have to get probably 604 flights on average before you'd have a medical emergency on your flight. Crazy, eh?
I'm trying to think of a medical emergency that I've seen on a plane. I don't think I have. Mind you, I haven't had 604 flights, I don't think.
Dead bodies on planes, I'm not going to lie, just brought me right back to this particular yarn we had in the podcast quite a while ago, and there's actually been some T-shirt artwork done up for this.
Oh, fuck.
It's basically a story of when a mate and I parachuted with a naked granny. Maybe you'll be interested or amused.
Jesus, sounds like a 90s radio promo.
Here we go.
Anyway, a buddy of mine, let's call him Steve because that's his name. In December, he came over for a few days as he was chauffeuring his mother-in-law for her to have a pre-Christmas meet with some of her family. We went out, hit the local town big time, and the next day he bugged out to go and collect her and take her back. Beer tour under his belt and major brownie points in the bank with his mother-in-law. Everything's stonking, off he goes. He called me on the 20th of December to ask me if I was up for a rematch as she'd become a bit ill and because of her age had to get checked out with the doctor who sent her for a cardiogram. Game on. I got a frantic phone call from him on the 23rd of December. He was in the shit a bit and needed my help. Calm down, mate. Calm down. What's happened? Mate, she's died. Now that really is a problem. The problem is that this was so close to Christmas. Nothing really could be sorted out before the new year, and the admin for transporting a body across 2 national borders was horrendous. The cost alone of storing her body until then added to that. You're looking at a couple of grand. This is the 23rd of December that she's passed.
It's a big popsicle.
So, is anyone else starting to read into the future of this?
No, surely not.
Well, it's f***ing cheaper to go up in the air and not land in it.
This has got all the elements and all the ingredients for a f***ing cracking story. We're going to link to that because heaps of you guys want to hear that one again.
God, I love hearing it back. I've told that story so many times that I think that I was the one that read it out initially.
I was thinking that too.
Why was I reading that? I thought it was you this whole time.
I thought I'd read it out. Fuck, that's funny. It's like easily one of the most hectic yarns we've ever had on the podcast. And it's more, I wanted to put that in there so you guys can jump back into it and listen to it in all its glory because we did promise a slightly longer podcast today.
Yeah, I still reckon, because I'll tell that story and people are like, you're full of shit. That never happened. I'm like, there was just too much detail. Too much detail.
Too much detail.
Yeah, if you skimmed over a couple of things that you could read through, and the twist at the end is just one of the fucking best.
Yeah, you got to listen to it in the show notes.
Keep steaming, legends.
One of the things that probably started our social media blowing up massive was a thing called nicknames. And
It literally was. It was 100%. Chances are, if you are listening to this right now, then you would have heard the first ever nicknames that Dunc read. It was at 4:40 on a Tuesday afternoon, and he goes, "Don't read these. I'll just read them to you." And it was from Lad Bible, and what just basically behind the scenes again, what most people do in radio in particular is steal everybody else's shit and never credit them, and we fucking hate that because credit where credit is due. And so Dunc started with this. Got this on Lad Bible, read them out. I found it fucking hilarious. Finished up with the guy that had one leg shorter than the other, so when he walked, head bobbled side to side. His nickname was Sniper's Nightmare. It fucking buckled me. I thought it was hilarious. And then, because we'd credited Lad Bible, they reposted it to whatever the 20 million people that follow them. And that was the catalyst for what you are now listening to, Not for Radio.
So it kind of was, actually. And then there's obviously the nicknames we can read out in the radio station. I think we've done 53 rounds of that. And we like to do every now and then a nicknames for Not for Radio because there's some you just can't read out not for on the radio.
Can I go first?
Yes. Welcome to Nicknames, the Not for Radio edition.
This one here from Aaron Puttock. My dad's mate back in school was had the name Wayne Lightly, so his nickname was Drizzle. shit. That's from Anthony Driver. Had a guy who used to work for us that thought he knew absolutely everything. The workshop boys nicknamed him Booker, short for Book of Fucking Knowledge. Another one here from Lee Woods. When I was younger, my friend's brother had a pretty debilitating speech impediment, which made things quite humorous when his voice was breaking. With this in mind, we called him the Crazy Frog. What fucking horrible things. And another. Went to school with a lad who had 3 testicles. We gave him the nickname Grapes for obvious reasons. Cheers, Pete Green, Manchester.
I'm going to go through a couple. How my mate got his nickname Mouthwash. Mouthwash used to be called Nick before one stormy night in his lifeboat was scrambled up to help the police recover the body of a guy off a pier. Nick, standing on the deck of the boat, was told to hold the legs of the dead guy while the police released the rope from above. Rather unfortunately for Nick, the police could not untie the knots quickly, and movement of the boat caused the dead guy's trousers to fall down and Nick to fall forward, and Nick's face and the dead man's dick to make contact. The equivalent of a Balthazar?
Balthazar?
Yeah, what's that?
I don't know.
Okay. The equivalent of an enormous mouthful of mouthwash was consumed by Nick following this incident. He was called Mouthwash. That's from Nathan.
Oh, it's Balthazar. It must be a mouthwash brand.
Yeah, maybe, eh?
Yeah.
Fucking hell, that's hectic.
Yeah, I thought it was
Have you ever had a dead man's dick in your mouth?
No, I haven't. But on that, we...
What about you, Teagues?
No.
You see Teagues getting squirmy over there.
Atomic Tom, present button there. You have any dead guy's dicks in your mouth?
No comment. So this is fucking poor taste, but
It would be.
It happened that long ago that we could probably get away with it. Friends of mine were studying, and part of their study to do with the human body was to go and use cadavers. And basically, prior to this, they were in a threesome situation, these 2 lads, with this older lady who was a bit of a fucking town absolute weapon. So they're in a part of New Zealand where things get pretty interesting pretty quickly. Pretty rough sort of setup. Anyway, so while they were chipping away in this kind of a spit roast scenario, it was kind of more like the capital T, if you will. So he was lying across while getting a little bit of pepper cracked on his spuds while his mate was chipping in from behind. And so anyway, he thought it was funny to reach through and cup his mate's nuts while he was on the job. And it's all fun and games in a three-way situation. So they were fucking laughing about it. Anyway, they go to this medical school, and there's a cadaver on the fucking table, and because these guys are rough, that everyone had heard about it, and one of the lads cupped the dead guy's nuts and goes, "Is this what happened on Saturday night?"
Oh my God.
Fuck, it broke them. They were rough as fuck. Like, you've donated your body to science, and there's some lads reenacting a threesome that they'd had the night before and cupping your dead nuts.
Giving you the squirrel grab.
Yeah.
Far out.
Anywho, back to the nicknames.
Got another good mate we call Cockneck. Because one time on the way home from the yearly footy trip, he passed out on the bus and everyone started turkey slapping him on the face and neck. Oh. So from that day on, he was called Cockneck. Thank you, Dylan Barlow.
I thought he only got cockney. You know when some people get really veiny and fucking stressed out and they're fucking just big angry dick necks?
This from Joel Eastburn. Here's a nickname for you. Had a bud named Timber. He always made jokes about having the biggest D. Like most dudes, everyone always thought it was an over-exaggeration. One night at the party, he was going to get lucky. Him and a chickie went off to the bedroom, and after about 15 minutes, we all heard a thud, and the girl came running out butt naked. Panicked and yelling, he got pale and fell over. After we rushed in and found out why, a massive flagpole up and all the blood left one head and went to the other and he passed out. Now he's known as Timber.
Shit, that's a good nickname.
Back in the 2000s, it's from Juliana McDonald. I had a neighbour who crashed his car while his wife was in the middle of a BJ. Fuck, these are great. They were fine, but after that, he was walking funny for a few weeks, and to this day, everyone in the building calls him Arton Seaman.
As an Ayrton Senna.
John in the UK, there was a guy at our construction site who came in on Monday after a weekend on the source of the shakes. His nickname was the shitting dog.
Shaking like a shitting dog is fucking one of the greatest calls, eh?
Yeah.
I've got some more here. This is from Connor Easton. Mate of mine moved a couple of years ago now and does pest control in the semi-rural town of Chinchilla. So we now call him the Chinchilla Killer. Paulie Pearman, I used to work with a guy called Phil Bliss who went on a holiday and came back with an undesirable medical condition after having a good time, if you know what I mean. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. He became known as Syphilis Blister. And Adam Hinchcliffe. I got a mate who suffers with premature ejaculation, so we call him Tipper because he can only get the tip in. Another couple here. Recently took on a new guy, been with us a few weeks now. We call him Contagious, not because he's ill or anything, but any job we send him to do takes the cunt ages. And last one here from Jay Lawson. There's a guy I know who always looks confused, doesn't know whether he's coming or going, so we call him Prostate Trouble.
One final one from me. We had a mate who seemed like everyone else's girlfriends, so we called him the Weevil because he'd get into your house and fuck everything.
The Weevil.
Oh, shit. What a treat. Thank you.
FYI, this is the mother hecking greatest.
Got some feedback here for you.
Okay.
From Tony Savage. Been hooking into the Not For Radio from the 20th of this month. I'm sure people think I'm mad when I tell them about clamato juice. This is clams and tomato juice, Bloody Mary styles. I have friends on the west coast of Canada, and remember my first Caesar. Holy hecker, that clam stuff is fucking filth. A big jug looks like what looks like a Bloody Mary, but tastes like Jaws has wanked into it. Fuck me dead. Some of the guys over there will get a beer and have a little glass of the clam with it. Fucked. Take the top off the beer, fill it up with the fresh piss, the fish piss. So your lovely fizzy yellow fun juice looks like some dodgy pink lemonade and tastes like Davy Jones's toot hole. 0 out of 10. Absolutely avoid that fucking thing. A hearty up the wires from Tasmania, originally via Kent in England.
Holy shit, travelling. It's a wild setup. That buddy of mine, Ash, he was with a Canadian bird for a while, and he was telling us, because he loves drinking piss, or used to love drinking piss, and he was sending us these pictures, and they'd have, I think it must be in Vancouver, where they have these big Caesar fucking world champs, you know, and so they make, all the bars have their own signature one, and so they literally would come in a big glass jug, and I fucking kid you not, when they'd have like half a garden of celery in this thing, and fucking full, like 3 quails on a skewer, and I was like, fucking show me how you make it. You want to be disgusted? Watch how they make clamato juice. Fuck me. Whoever thought of that, you're like, but everyone loves it. Same thing. If you found
so many of those flavour combinations don't work together and they're still persisting with it.
Yeah, but you get a person that is passionate about that drink and they'll tell you, like someone has Guinness and they go, that's fucking disgusting. Tell that to an Irish person. Like, they'll tell you you're out of your fucking head.
Yeah.
Same purple goanna. Fucking terrible piss. You say that to somebody on the east coast of the North Island, they'll probably punch you in the face. And it's, horses for courses, I guess. But yeah, it's a tough watch. Watch how they make Worcester sauce.
What?
Worcester sauce.
Which sister sauce?
Which sister sauce?
Hopefully not mine. Now, speaking of Australia, both my sisters over there.
Yeah.
In Australia, they just found a new, bigger version of the world's most venomous spider. So it's already this fucking horrible, I think it's called the trapdoor, horrible fucking spider. And then in Newcastle, they've found a bigger version. And wait till you hear what they've called it.
Recently, we found a new one, because of course we fucking did. And the new one is the most certified Australia moment I've ever seen. For a bit of context, one of the several thousand spider species we are home to is the Sydney funnelweb, the deadliest spider on the planet. Because of course it's down here. Where the fuck else did you think you were going to find it? These scary looking fuckers are highly venomous and can flatline you with a bite in 15 minutes. And if you think wearing thick clothes will save you, be aware the bastards have fangs long enough to punch through shoe leather. Now, why do I bring these little nightmares up? What is the one thing worse than a spider rocking armour-piercing rounds that can send you to heaven with same-day delivery? A bigger spider rocking the same perk setup. That's right, Australian scientists have found a brand new species of this funnel web that is even bigger. How much bigger? Well, the standard Sydney funnel web grows to around 5 centimetres or 2 inches. And I mean, if you're asking me, 2 inches is more than enough. 2 inches is actually fucking huge. By comparison, this is the new one. It's twice the fucking size, cunt. 4 inches of 8-legged menace to the animal kingdom. But that isn't even the best part. You see, do you know what they named this thing? Do you know what professional scientists named a supersized version of the most dangerous spider on the entire fucking planet? The Newcastle Big Boy. Deadliest spider on the entire fucking globe. Big Boy. Only in Australia.
The big boy.
Oh,
It's a big boy. Who is that guy? Fuck, I can listen to him all day.
Yeah, he's great.
He is. Well, we'll find him in the show notes.
Yeah, we'll put a link in the show notes to him.
Have a fucking go.
I also got a message. I think I might have told this yarn before. But when I went to Raro and I lied about what I did for a job, I was doing the night show at that time. And I met this lovely couple, Kate and Cole. And they're like, oh, yeah, what do you do for work? I was like, bricklayer. And then I was trying to go, I just couldn't be bothered being dunked from the rock. I was on fucking holiday.
It's a weird insight into our lives. We are one of the few jobs in the world where people ask you what you do, then you tell them, and then they tell you that they don't listen to your show. And it's
Speak
like
for yourself, mate. Everyone listens to me.
Yeah, like when someone go, what do you do for a job? Oh, I fucking know this show on the rock, you do fucking podcast.
I don't like rock music.
Yeah, that sort of shit. And you go, what do you do for a job? Oh, I'm a lawyer. Well, I don't use your fucking legal services either. It's like, what a shit chat. Like, who gives a fuck? That's why you should never start a conversation. What do you do for a job, eh?
But it's also as well, when you're on holiday, you don't want to think about work. And anyway, so I was like, oh, I'm a bricklayer. And then because I was doing the night show.
Yeah, in the office?
I was doing the night show, then I let slip that I was working at night time. And they were like, fucking got him. And then they hit me up and called me out on it. And I was like, yeah, you fucking got me. Yeah, I do the night show on the rock. They're like, fucking thought so. Anyway, so I've kind of been mates with them ever since because we spent a lot of time with them on that holiday. And so they've watched us have kids just from afar on Facebook. They moved to...
say, that's a bit fucking weird. They're all at the same time. Wow. Real good mates.
And then they moved to Perth for a while. We talked about doing a house swap though down the Hawke's Bay at some point. But anyway, he sent me, sent me this message last night, and I listened to some of it.
Yeah.
But then I was like, oh, maybe I want to hear that for the first time as well. And it's more specifically for you, Jay.
Just bearing in mind, if it is the way that we think it's going to go, I just fucking pumped 2 glizzies and half a litre of juice.
That's why I waited for Friday.
Yeah. Good cunt. Hit us.
Tom, have you fallen asleep?
So I was in the kitchen doing the dishes, and my wife Kate was down the other end of the house with the kids. The kids were just getting ready to get in the shower, and all I heard was, "Oh, Miller, that's disgusting! Don't put anything in your mouth that's come out of your body." So, next minute, Kate walks into the kitchen, and I just looked at her and went, "Do I really want to know?" And she goes, "Miller just called it belly button wax," stuck her finger into her belly button and straight into her mouth. So there you go. It was out the gate. Kids are dicks. Other than that, sweet airs and all the rest up the wires. Cheer, boy.
Oh, I thought it was going to be shit.
Well, I literally thought they were going to put shit in their hand and eat their own shit. That's tough.
I always like seeing, I get the odd Snapchat from some of the lads that got kids that are now younger than ours. Because when you're in the fucking weeds, like, you can't, like, you just want to tell other people about it. And so they'll be doing that, firing from Snapchat, be like, oh, have a go at the brown submarine. It'll be bath time. The baby's done, or the toddler's done a huge shit in the bath. I was like, fuck, I remember being there.
Yeah, I would have told this before, but when we found out early doors that we were having... Interesting. Once again, further, this is kind of a full disclosure insight. When we found out that we were A, pregnant, and B, that we were having twins, was right in the middle of a very fucking serious contract negotiation for me. And so it was impossible for us to tell anybody in fear of it getting back to work that we were having a family, because, and this is business as it is, they will fuck you as hard as they possibly can when they know that you've got a family coming.
When you're down to one income.
Yeah, that is 101 in a negotiation. And so we held it back.
What you want to do is say, nah, I'm never having kids, and then just like later they pop up on Instagram. What the fuck? I didn't know they were pregnant. They've got a 3-year-old?
Yeah.
Keep that quiet.
And so when we found out we're having twins, we still kind of had to sit on this until the fucking deal was done. And so I was doing voiceovers at the time for a telco here. So I'd be in and out of the studio like 3 times a week, basically. And one of the guys that was in there, I'd been doing this job for 10 years, this business for 10 years. And so I saw him go from this vibrant fucking legend. And then I knew that he was having kids, but we never really spoke about that sort of part of his life. And he just looked more and more destroyed. Anyway, so I said to him, what's going, how you been? He's like, so I've got twins, and these twins they must have been maybe 2 at that age. And so 2 boys and identical boys. And so I was like, yay, you're like twin chat. Whoa, tell me something cool. And he goes, so these little cunts, fuck me. I'm getting no sleep. There's one of them. So he goes, this is my daily routine. I wake up to one of them screaming and crying, and then I open the door into their room, and instantly it hits me like a wall, and there is everywhere you can see shit, because one of the sick little fucks shits himself in the night and then reaches into his nappy, through his pants, and then into his nappy, and just fucking throws it at his brother in the cot next to him, fucking smears it all over himself like a new inmate that doesn't want to be touched, and then smears it all around the walls and stuff. He goes, it's fucking wild. He goes, I'm buying a pack of nappies and a roll of duct tape on a strapping tape every time I go to the supermarket. I get the weirdest fucking looks. And so I was like, oh, fuck, man, that sounds pretty hectic. And he's like, I'm at my wit's end. I fucking don't know what to do. Like, we've tried putting fucking mittens on him and shit, and he just fucking still gets him in there and taping the top, and he fucking goes in through the bottom like this little fuck. He's just doing my head in. And so we ended up basically spending the best part of the next month figuring out solutions to it. And if you've got a kid, you'll know what a wonder suit is.
Yeah, they're the best.
They are. So it's like a one-piece suit which zips from the top to the bottom and the bottom to the top. They're kind of like a 2-piece zipper thing. And so what he ended up doing was getting one of those suits and zipping the fucker into it and cable tying the zips so they got to be pulled apart. Straight jacketing him. And it took him 6 months. And then I saw the life come back into his eyes. He's like, you literally fucking saved my life, I reckon. Like, I was fucking in a dark place until you came up with a straight jacket and cable tie setup.
Not the first time Jay's done that to help someone out.
And myself.
Hey, for those that missed podcasts any of the other days this week, the Sniper Elite found out about them early, but we've done a limited edition release of our very first sunglasses. We designed them in conjunction with Newfound Sunglasses. Didn't want to do shit ones, so we went a little bit high in there, $199. They'll say NFR on one side. They've got Dunc on the inside of one of the arms. Next round will be Jay's turn to do a pair. Be a bit more jazzy than mine. Mine are pretty much like an oversized pair of Ray-Bans.
Yeah, so there's only 100 or just over, say, 140 pairs once we fucking took our ones out of it. And they, I haven't even checked in with them today. I really should have before we jumped on here to see if there's any left, because they were selling like fucking hotcakes yesterday.
There's also going to be a post that goes up on Not For Radio page, Sniper's Nightmare and everything. So that'll go up later after you've probably heard this. If you jump on this straight away, if you've got your notifications on. But just bear in mind, today might be the last day.
Also worth pointing out that there's so many people in the Northern Hemisphere that support the mighty Wars, and there's a bunch of Northern Hemisphere teams that are in Vegas as well. So I don't know what the timing's like for you guys over in the Northern Hemisphere, but I can imagine it wouldn't be too bad since they're going to be playing in that same sort of time frame. But fucking get around the Wars this weekend in Las Vegas.
Yeah, it's going to be sick. I haven't put my bets down yet, but I'm absolutely going to do that. It must be just so surreal for the players.
Yeah.
Not only do they get to go, with their sport to Vegas, which not many sports teams get to do, they get to go and hang out. They've pressed the flesh at a bunch of different sports, met NFL players. They've hosted parties and all sorts of things in pubs and casinos and stuff. And then they get to run out onto the same stadium that the Super Bowl was played at, and then have all the bloody NFL line scrubbed off and
Yeah.
all the NRL stuff put there and the post put up, which wouldn't be cheap to bloody. I mean, we got stung on postage for the Jack Daniels bottles to go to the UK. Imagine what it costs to send a post over.
Somebody messaged also on that, the Jack Daniels bottle, someone messaged saying that they got the bottle held up at customs and stung another $50 to get it released from customs.
What?
Motherfuckers.
That's gross.
We need to have a workaround for that.
We'll work on it for next time. I was just kind of keen to get it out because it had been a while. It's sick. Up the wires. I'm looking forward to that. What are your plans for the weekend?
So tonight the fam get back from school camp, which looked fucking awesome. It looks so funny.
Yeah, man.
Big bonfire sessions, fucking school songs and huckers and all sorts of really good shit. The missus was there. She'll be absolutely stinging for a drink because it was a dry camp. I reckon this is the longest she's gone without a bottle of piss in her hand for fucking years.
I thought about that, but not in the fact that, like, how's she going to go? Not saying that everyone knows she's a functioning alcoholic.
No, that's weird.
She's not.
I just started a rumor.
She's an alcoholic that doesn't function. No.
I started a rumor with her mate. I said to her, "You know that she smuggled some piss in a shampoo bottle she's been drinking in the shower." Oh, fucking hell.
No, I legitimately put myself in Anna's shoes because I haven't done a school camp yet. And I was like, I wonder if it's like, all right, kids, where you go down? And then all the parents distance themselves from the kids and then park up and have wines.
Well, that's what a school camp normally consists of. But not this one. This is a proper dry camp.
So it must be a Christian camp or something, is it?
Well, they're a Catholic school, so yeah. Which, you'd have figured that they'd be
same but different.
Anyway, so that, and then it's my business partner's 40th birthday, so we're going out on some super yacht for his birthday Saturday night.
That makes sense. What does that cost to hire?
No, I don't know. He earns a lot of money. Sweet.
Let's just focus on the fact that Jay doesn't have to pay for it and he's just going to be a passenger.
Yes, I'll be checking the accounts. It's not coming out of the business account, that's for sure. And also, Sunday is the WARS in Vegas. So we're going to be
What time's that?
1
o'clock New Zealand?
Yeah, I think so. It must be. So heading along to full time with the Groms to watch that.
Yeah, great. Me and Dixie got our first.
Oh, you got fucking full steaming.
Yeah, we've got our mate's 40th tomorrow night down the line. About a 3-hour drive, and this will be the first night in 7 years that we've both been away together, away from the kids.
Which is fucking outrageous.
It's almost to the point where you go like, I might just not sleep so I can make the most of it, and make it act like it's 2 nights.
Or you might just go, you know what, fucking let's just book some tickets to South America and fucking see if we're done.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think Dixie's booking some apartment or something tonight, and then lawn bowls for the afternoon, then a few tubes probably at someone else's house.
Yeah,
it'll be good.
Lick the fucking stamp would be my advice.
Just
and then
send it. Hey, have a cracking weekend. Been awesome catching up with you again for Not For Radio. For those that haven't jumped on the podcast for a while, we appreciate you for choosing us. As always, we'd appreciate it. Share an episode with a mate and tell them what we're all about. That'll help the numbers. We're on YouTube now. You can find us on Android and also Apple for Sniper Elite episodes, which are the extra ones. You can pay like the price of a beer a month to get 3 extra episodes. Still waiting on Apple. For those that are normally on Apple, listening to this on Spotify to sort out the back end. For some reason, the Sniper Elite people internationally on Apple haven't been able to access them. So at the moment, we'll just keep pumping out all the episodes for everyone until that's been sorted out for those guys.
Bit of a fuck around. Apologies.
Yeah, well, I don't think we need to be the ones apologising. Wasn't our fault.
One fucking job. Hey.
Have a great weekend. Go well, go long.
And up the wires.
Up the wires.